Signs an INFJ is suffering from narcissistic abuse. INFJs, with their philanthropic personalities, are the typical prey for narcissistic abuse. They believe they can fix their kinfolk, friends, or their spouse with their courteous nature. Such credence, although a positive personality aspect, leads them to fall victim to the hands of a narcissist. No one will ever want to be manipulated by a narcissist, so if you want to identify and cut off a narcissistic relationship, you may want to continue watching. If you doubt you have been into a narcissistic relationship, tighten your seatbelts and let's take the plunge into your journey of being a victim. Signs of narcissistic abuse. Listed below are the signs that signify you are or were in an abusive relationship. Physical violence. Physical violence is the loudest indication that an INFJ is falling victim to the hands of a narcissistic person. According to studies, 21% of aggression and 18% of violence cases are associated with narcissistic abuse. The physical abuse may start with the person being a bully, looking down at you, blocking your way, and throwing things. In their initial phases of aggression, a narcissistic person may punch the wall wildly or slam the door violently. By doing so, the narcissistic person implies they can punch or throw their INFJ spouse, friend, or loved ones. The objective is to instill fear in the INFJs. The narcissist may expose the INFJs to potential risks and make them feel vulnerable by restricting their escape. For instance, they will drive the car hastily where the INFJs have no getaway. Narcissists may try to harm the INFJ by applying different ways. They may hit, punch, or twist, push, beat, bite, slap, pull, or drag the INFJ during an intense episode of aggression. The narcissist blames the INFJs for the violence. After the violence, they effortlessly manipulated the INFJs as they asserted that the aggression was only the result of the INFJ's misdeed and had nothing to do with the temperament of the narcissist. They will never reflect on their behaviorism. Out of whack. When an INFJ is putting up with narcissistic abuse, the surrounding people may complain that they miss their aura. The surrounding people may notice abrupt or sudden personality changes in an INFJ. They may lose their cheerful, vibrant, and jazzy ambiance. They may shrug off their compassionate self and deploy traits like apathy, preoccupy, and melancholy. They may lose their cool, and you might miss their composed soul. An INFJ in an abusive relationship tends to be quieter than ever and more indecisive. They may dawdle when you ask them to decide, say to decide on cuisine while at a restaurant. Not only are they sluggish while deciding, but they may appear to be more puzzled than ever. The INFJs struggling with a narcissistic person might not put their efforts into looking presentable even at the workplace. You might notice that they have lost interest in their veneer. Thus, through their guise, you may predict their mental state and, ultimately, their vulnerability to an abusive relationship. Emotional drainage. Another easy-to-pick trait of being a victim of a narcissistic relationship is that the INFJ is overtired easily. INFJs now find it hard to fixate on their office work or daily grinds. The INFJs may also seem to manifest symptoms of insomnia or having a disturbed sleep cycle. They may exhibit some physical health issues like heartburn, hair loss, and whatnot. In addition, if the INFJs get stressed out over the regular toil, that may be a triggering sign for their loved ones to pay close attention. The stressed INFJs are a cue that they might be confronting abuse in silence. Rage outburst. Yes, to your surprise, INFJs also get rage outbursts. They have the capacity to sense and give voice to their fury. The INFJs typically exhibit calm and composed natures, but they may show a knee-jerk reaction when they are being emotionally beset. Normally, INFJs mull over things and respond patiently to provoking factors. They face analysis paralysis after an incident and may seem to be unreadable to the surrounding people. They do not react impulsively and take their time to counter. But if an INFJ encounters an episode of rage outburst, they are clearly tackling an abusive relationship that is strangulating their nerves. Paranoia. The INFJs will try to dodge any incident, conversation, or engagement that reminds them of the traumatic episodes they get through. They turn out to be very discreet about their words and gestures and may avoid eye contact. Avoiding eye contact is intended to evade any unsolicited chatter and avert any engagement with them. They try to avoid conversation to be safe from subtle interrogative queries from their surrounding people. The INFJs in an abusive relationship find everything fishy and interrogate the ones they know to clear up their doubts. They may act suspicious of strangers and may show their mistrust towards the ones they just met. Nervous breakdowns. INFJs are liable for mental disorders like depression, stress, and anxiety. Generally, INFJs are emotionally sturdy and keep up with mental abuse for quite a long time. However, an abusive relationship with a narcissistic person can take a toll on an INFJ as well. They may feel fatigued and may lose interest in life affairs generally. Their eating cycle may be distorted, and their appetite might be lost. Likewise, they may sound frantic and may needlessly feel remorseful and worthless. These are crystal clear benchmarks of abusive relationships. Here, the person has suffered enough for their relatives or loved ones to intervene and help them out. In an abusive relationship, the mental health of an INFJ is compromised more than anything. They try to keep the hassle to themselves and do not open up, intoxicating their mental peace. Therefore, they may lie prone to mental disorders. Before the mental distress turns into a serious illness, the signs of an abusive relationship must be recognized and the person must be referred to a therapist. Being more detached. It is a well-established fact that INFJs are introverts and do not prefer to be social. However, with an abusive relationship, they build their walls even higher. They spend more time isolated from their close ones. INFJs in an abusive relationship will restrict themselves and will do anything to avoid conversation. People they talk to might stumble across that their mental condition is their pet peeve at the time, and they try to avoid such a situation. Their kind and courteous natures do not let them loathe their partners, and they try to protect their partners. They fear their partner might be exposed if they will communicate with people around them. Even during lunch breaks or even at parties, they may prefer to enjoy their company instead of liaising with their colleagues or friends. Defend abusive narcissists. INFJs are supposed to be very caring and sympathetic, even to people who harm them. They delude themselves that they can fix their partners and loved ones with persistence and care. They willingly assert themselves as responsible for the faults of their loved ones. Their sympathy does not stop here, but also compels them to defend their abusive partners if someone extends their hand to help the victim INFJs. Mental and physical illness. Comorbid to mental disorders like depression, stress, and anxiety, an INFJ might develop a physical health malady. All the above signs are preliminary to severe physical and mental health issues. One of the physical disorders which itself upsets a person emotionally is irritable bowel syndrome, which is incurred by an abusive relationship. IBS may disturb one's sleep cycle and may impact the digestive system of a person. The mental trauma may lead to physical pains that are unrecognized and idiopathic. An INFJ with an abusive relationship may develop IBS, which may lead to abdominal cramps and bloating. Why INFJs fall prey to narcissists. A narcissist gets an INFJ because of their two cognitive features: the dominant introverted intuition and auxiliary features like extroverted feelings. Introverted intuition is the dominant feature in an INFJ, which denotes that they profusely focus on their inner insights. Once they have crafted a concept in the brain, they adhere to it rigidly. At the same time, the extroverted feelings imply that the INFJs are well aware of others' feelings and read others very accurately. They may be so into understanding people around them that they overlook their own feelings. Narcissists look for people who are easy to manipulate, and with their extroverted feelings, the INFJs are the best prey for narcissists. The extroverted feelings of INFJs compel them to harmonize with others' feelings, which clears the road for a narcissist to subconsciously or consciously manipulate the other party. INFJs are idealists, and they fantasize not only an ideal life for themselves, but their actions also correspond to their desires. While they are in a relationship, they try to be an ideal partner, friend, son, and daughter. Therefore, they are tangled in an abusive relationship with a narcissist. In addition, INFJs are looking for an immaculate association, and a narcissist's initial love bombing may appeal to the INFJ. But all that glitters is not gold. The INFJs bear a telltale face and wear their emotions overtly, which facilitates the narcissist in manipulating the person. The narcissist has a knack for alluring the INFJs by giving them false hopes. They are wordsmiths and faux poets, matching the idealistic scale of an INFJ. Such traits beguile the INFJs into an abusive relationship, and the narcissists leech off the INFJs. The INFJs develop feelings for the manipulative narcissists, and later it becomes hard for them to step out of a vicious relationship. With an innate judgmental skill, INFJs are quick to judge any abusive trait. They even spot microsignals that reflect toxicity, but because they have been gaslighted by society for being sensitive, they may look out for their interpretations. Furthermore, because they try to be loyal partners in a relationship, they prioritize their affinity over their personal safety. All these factors contribute to INFJs falling prey to narcissistic abuse. They crave a compassionate relationship, thus they downplay the red flags, silence their innate voice, and turn down their gut feeling. Resultantly, INFJs tolerate all the abuse and get stuck with a narcissist. Ways to avoid abuse. Now, the question crops up how the INFJs shield themselves against a narcissist. As an INFJ, you only have to believe in your instincts. Notice the red flags and do not give your gut feeling a miss. Furthermore, the INFJs have to admit that a person who initially seems to be compassionate and ideal for them might actually be ideal for them. Another tough job as an INFJ is to learn to value yourself. You should prioritize your benefit and safety over anything. They may employ their burning spirits to culminate in justice. They may employ their passion for fighting injustice to ward off a toxic relationship. They can also bring their stubbornness used to cut off ties with the narcissist. Narcissistic abuse can incur emotional, psychological, and physical damage to an INFJ. Several behavioral changes signify narcissistic abuse. The signals may include the INFJs being reticent and isolating themselves. They may try to bypass conversation, or you may sense a change in their persona. They may also show physical signs of an abusive relationship or may look insomniac. Identifying the benchmarks of a narcissistic abuse and trying to impede the mental and physical effects of the relationship on an INFJ must be preferred before a mere mental upset fills out into a severe mental disorder like depression, anxiety, and stress. However, the cognitive machinery of an INFJ is easy prey for a narcissist. Still, an INFJ can take cumbersome steps to adjourn their relationship with a narcissist who initially fit the frame of their fantasy. Are you a struggling INFJ? Have you ever faced mental and emotional abuse rooting from a relationship with a narcissistic person? How did you cope with the abusive relationship?